Hey everyone, this season, don't just watch the games, win them with Pez'sPicks.com. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the man himself.
Thank you, Jeff. This is Pez. After years of giving away our picks on Instagram and beating the house, we've launched Pez's Premium Picks, an exclusive data-based picks based on our algorithm that's hit winners for the last 2 years.
Didn't that algorithm get you over 70% picks right in the NFL last year?
That's right, Jeff. Thank you. No gimmicks, just the pick we believe in. We're using the promo code Lock It Up this week on Pez'sPicks.com. After that, we're asking for a small donation to keep beating the house.
That's right. Use the promo code Lock It Up, all one word, for a free week of access at Pez'sPicks.com. That's Pez'sPicks.com. Check it out today.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
It's like, wait, what?
Gafford is hurt, so Lively's starting. So
how about y'all be quiet
when you ask the question?
Yeah.
This is why you got to pre-record.
Take 5.
This is why the Giants stink. How about that?
Okay.
Wow.
This is why Eli not in the Hall of Fame. How about that?
Oh boy.
Wow.
This is why you left your team to your rival to go get a ring. How about that?
It's funny how you know so much about my team. What else
Welcome
their facts?
To the Uptown Parlay Podcast. We got Malik, Ace, Ant, and Levon, the Giants fan.
Jeez.
Who's upset at quite Indiana Jones?
No, I love Indiana Jones. I shouldn't, but I love him.
You shouldn't.
Still to this day.
If you had any loyalty, you wouldn't.
I defended Daniel for freaking 5 years, man.
That's not the case. I still root for Stafford.
Why?
I hated that Danny Dimes.
I still root for
Indiana Jones is way better.
Danny Dimes was with the Giants. This is Indiana Jones. This is a different quarterback.
No, I'm happy for Daniel, man.
This is an MVP candidate in the Indiana Jones.
Are we done talking, or are we going to get into
this?
Hey, you started it.
Oh, I did the intro. I did my part.
That was welcome to the Uptown Parlay Podcast. That's your whole contribution.
And I introduced everybody.
Well done.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Thank you.
We could have done that ourselves.
Did I not? Yeah.
We're grown
You know
men.
what? How about next time you do? How about that?
That's perfectly fine. I didn't say. Look, I asked you if you were planning on doing it. I was perfectly fine doing it myself.
Y'all don't treat nobody with no damn respect around here. I see how it is.
I thought the intro was done very well.
Nah, they're haters.
Steve
so all the listeners out there in Australia,
it was mid. It was mid.
It was mid. All right. Okay.
Oh man.
Haters gonna hate. It is what it is.
So are we getting into y'all just want to cover week 5 and see how we did and just start getting into these picks?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, whatever's clever. Whatever we doing.
All right. So you guys know, if you guys listening, you guys didn't hear the banter that was going back and forth, but week 5 was a rough week for the group as a whole. Ace went 6-7, 3-2 on his locks. Ant also went 6-7, 3-2 on his locks. I went 7-6, 2-3 on my locks, and Levon went 4-9 and 2-3 on his locks.
The locks are what matter.
For the season, Ace is at 34 and 39, 47%. And this is for the game picks overall. Ant is at 41 and 32, 56%. I am 35 and 38, 48%. And Levon is a tick under 50% at 36 and 37 and 49%.
Oh, yeah.
Game locks. We're all Ace and Ant are still at 56%, 14 and 11 on their locks. I am 44%, 11 and 14, and Levon is 10 and 15 on his locks at 40%. That's where we stand as of right now, going into week number 6. Week number 6, we've got, so we're recording as we're watching the Giants and the Eagles play in a pretty well contested game. The Eagles were favored by 7 here going into the week, going into the game, and Giants are holding tough. They're up 3 right now at halftime. So we'll see what happens as we continue watching through. But let's get into the slate of games. We're going to start out with the London game. The London game this week is Anthony's New York Jets. Anthony's New York Jets hosting Sean Payton's Denver Broncos. The Broncos won last week in Philadelphia, coming back from, was it 17 or 14-point deficit in Philadelphia to take that game against the Eagles. And the Jets are, unfortunately, the only winless team left in the NFL.
Yeah!
After
greatest all time!
And currently stand in first place for the number 1 pick overall going into the 2026 draft.
One.
The Jets broke the NFL record. I think it's the NFL record for the first 5 games of not having turned anybody over in the first 5 games of the season.
Breaking records.
It's the first time it has happened since 1933. First time it's happened since 1933 when turnovers first became a stat in the NFL. Broncos are favored by 7 in London.
Should be favored by a million.
And the over-under in this game is 43.5. And, of course, as usual, we start with you because you're the Jet fan here. Bring your mic close and give us your pick.
All right. So we got the London Jets versus Denver Broncos. And
yes, this is a home game versus the Jets, right? Yeah.
This is the London Jets, aka the what's the name? The stat boosters, the stat padders in the fourth quarter, because that's all they do. They just pad stats in the fourth quarter every single game, except for the first one. They pad stats to come back up so it can look like, oh yeah, we almost won, BS. But anyway, I got the Broncos on this one again. I'm going to take the Broncos and I'm going to take the over. The reason I'm taking the over because, the stat padding Jets, for some reason, they'll come back. In the beginning, don't worry about it, folks. For those who have fantasy players out there, just start all your Jet players. Because for some strange reason, they'll have 3 points throughout the whole game. And then when the fourth quarter comes out of nowhere, they come back. And they'll try to catch up to that 40-point blowout. So I got the Jets and the over. Locking it in.
The Jets or the Broncos?
Oh, sorry, the Broncos and the over. And I'm locking it in.
Wow. Another lock against his team. And did you hear the comments about Breece Hall potentially getting traded?
Yeah, that's been going on since the what's the name, the preseason, so whatever happens.
Do you think it makes sense in terms of them getting another day 2 pick, or?
No, it doesn't make no damn sense. The only reason they're doing it is because I've been going through the same cycle for the last 15 years since Rex and forgot that dude's name, Isaac, whatever, screwed up the team. They do the same exact cycle. They bring in a new coach. The new coach gets rid of all the good players. Then they build up their team according to their system. Like, they like a big cornerback or they like a big wide receiver or whatever BS. Then they do it again and again and again. So it doesn't make no dang on sense. I've seen the same thing over and over again. I know what the cycle, what the whole thing is going to be. Doesn't make no sense. If they get a day 2 pick, that'll be a good trade. In trade wise, the only reason I say that is because Breece Hall was a number 2 pick. But besides that, whatever.
I mean, my personal feeling, and we'll get to the rest of you guys' picks in a second. My personal feeling is Breece Hall is up for a contract extension, and he's probably going to want something north of $12 to $13 million a year.
Wouldn't that make him the highest paid running back in the league?
No, Saquon is the highest paid right now. He makes like 20.
Oh, I thought he only made 15. My bad.
Saquon
he
doesn't make $20 million a year.
Yeah, he just signed an extension after the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh. So I think when he first signed with Philly, he was making like 13 or 14 or something like that.
That's what I was like, where does
and then he
$7
signed
million
an extension right after the Super Bowl season.
Gotcha.
So but yeah, he would be I think Brees would want like 12, 13. And I just for a rebuilding team at the Jets are, running back is the one position where one, you can get somebody to come in and they can hit right away. And two, if you wait too long, by the time your team gets good, that running back will be washed. And, so if you don't hit it, if you don't get the running back at the time when your team is ready to take that leap, it probably makes sense to just let him walk and not pay him so that you can do it. Which is why, LeVon, I now completely understand why the Giants didn't sign Saquon Barkley.
Oh, now don't get me fucking started. Excuse me.
No, I get why they didn't sign him. I just don't get why they didn't trade him. That's what I kept saying.
Let's not do this.
So he doesn't go to Philly. That's it. Just don't go to Philly. That's all I kept saying.
Well, the good part for the Jets is concerned is that the Jets actually has depth in their running backs, unlike the Giants did when they got rid of Saquon Barkley. He walk out the door.
Yeah.
And on
Hard
knocks
out for the season, right?
No, just for a couple of games. But besides Brandon Allen, I forgot the other running back's name, but he's kind of good. We drafted him the same time we drafted Brandon Allen. So
who's that kid from North Carolina, Carter?
I think so. No, not Carter, because we got rid of him. He's on Arizona right now.
Okay.
Forgot what the guy's name is. I'll look it up later, but he's kind of good too. I seen him play a lot in the preseason. But, unlike the Giants, who had nobody when they got rid of Saquon Barkley. But now they got Scatterboo, he runs into walls for you. But whatever.
All right, Ace. Broncos, Jets. Broncos 7-point favorites. Over under 43.5. What are you thinking?
Is it 7 even?
Yeah, 7 even.
And they're playing in the Meadowlands, or they're playing in Mile High Sports Authority Field?
They're playing in London.
It's in London, brother.
They're playing on the moon? Okay.
They playing on London High, getting some cheese and crumpets.
Yes, the Central Greenwich Mean Time. I am going to have to go with the Jets. I think Sean Payton is getting too much credit for being mediocre, and I'm going to continue hating on him and consistently picking against them because it's made my pockets some money so far.
So this turn you against it a little bit.
Nope.
AG worked under Sean Payton before, so Sean Payton knows his tendencies and stuff.
Who was Aaron Glenn's coach when the Jets were in the 1998 AFC Championship game?
Okay, we're going with that.
I think that's who he learned the most from, which would have been Bill Parcells. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a Parcells guy. So really, if we're really going to give credit, you got to go with the coaching tree, which is Parcells taught him as a player, and then Parcells also taught Sean Payton as a coach. So let's keep it a buck. So I'm going to go with the guy who actually played the game as the guy who talks about the game. And also, if Sauce Gardner wants to keep getting these checks, he's going to, start playing a little bit better. And I don't really think Denver actually has that good a wide receiver, so he should be able to stay with them pretty easily. The only thing the Jets really have to worry about is can they protect my guy, Justin Fields, back there and give him some time to make some plays. And Mason Taylor is playing his ass off, so I'm going to give credit where credit is due, and I'm going to go with the Jets, and I think in an upset, because 7 points is too much. I'd buy that hook and go for 7.5, which is what I'm seeing on DraftKings, so yeah. But I know FanDuel's got different lines.
Yeah, I'm between FanDuel and MGM, and I'm seeing 7 for both. So, I'm seeing 7.5 on MGM, 7 for FanDuel. So,
yeah, I'm gonna buy that hook.
Take the hook.
So, yeah, take the hook. But on the 7 points, I'm gonna take the Jets. Still, it'll end up being a push, maybe.
All right, LeVon.
I'm gonna take the Broncos. And what's the over under in this game?
43.5.
I'm gonna take the Broncos. And the under. They would erase all good vibes and momentum from beating Philly and Philly if they go to London and lose to the Jets. And I don't think that's going to happen. Briefly on the Breece Hall thing, I understand everything Malik said, and that's what you do. If your team isn't ready and you have players coming up for contract that are not in line with what winning needs to be. But the Jets could be a quarterback away from being competitive. I mean, this team has high draft pick, questionable impact players at every level, offensively and defensively, except the quarterback position. Brees Hall could be solid enough running back for you out the backfield. You got a number one receiver. I mean, I give Wilson credit. I don't think he's top tier, but he's a number one receiver on that team. The offensive line is not terrible. Vera Tucker comes back next year. And then on defense, you got Quentin Williams on the line. You got Sauce in the secondary for you. And I know there's a couple other kids. I think that Johnson kids play Florida State. I mean, you got players on the team. The Jets just don't have, and I said this when we were talking in the preseason, we were ranking the teams. They don't have a quarterback yet. And this draft is pretty much full of quarterbacks. And if they get that pick, they could be, in a position to be in line and turn that thing around. And then maybe he's worth the 12, 13 million because you're going to need a running game to assist the young quarterback. But, I went longer than I wanted to on that. Give me the Broncos.
All right. I'm going to go with you, LeVon, go with the Broncos here as well. Not locking it in because I just feel like the travel and all of that stuff. The London, all of the London games so far have been weird to me. So I don't like locking in either one of these games. But I do like the Broncos to win this outright. They do like to play. It's interesting. Ace mentioned, you and Ant were talking. You mentioned about the coaching tree and their styles of play and all of that stuff. And Aaron Glenn's defense and Sean Payton's defense are very similar in scheme. They're not similar in production yet. They both like to play heavy man press. They both like to play with their corners close to the line of scrimmage. And they like to want to get rushes with four. Quentin Williams is questionable right now with a groin situation, so that may hamper him even if he winds up playing. That may hamper him to some degree. And I've said this for multiple seasons now as we've been doing this show. Justin Fields' biggest issue is he's not able to throw the ball to bring the team back. Like that's pretty much been an issue for him, even when he was in Chicago. Throwing the ball to bring the team back has been a problem for him, for a very long time now. And I feel like if the Broncos can get ahead and get a lead by, 6 or 7 points, then they can hold the Jets off because of force, Fields away from the thing that he does best, which is run with the football. So I'll take the Broncos. I'll take the over in the game just because of the craziness of London, but I'm not locking this in.
Yeah, Malik, I'm starting to realize that too myself. I was defending him before, but I definitely believe you're right about the passing thing. And I'm starting to believe what people are talking about that he holds the ball too long because he can't really read the defense.
He doesn't read. Yeah, he doesn't read well. Even when he does throw the ball, like it's not always the most accurate ball. Like he's got a gun.
Right.
You can tell he's got the arm strength, but it's just a lot of touch, a lot of the nuances that make quarterbacks, special.
So
he just doesn't have them as a passer.
You agree with Malik, but it was you and Ace who were pretty much telling me I was crazy, saying that Justin Fields can read defenses, can go through his progressions, and is not just a running quarterback. When I said that, it was week 0.
Yeah,
I said he could do all of those things. I'm saying he can't.
No, I said he can't. They were telling me I was nuts.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. They were. We got that on tape.
Yeah, we got that.
We probably do.
I would admit that I was wrong, and I started to look more at him and sees more and more now it's going the other way.
The problem is there's 2 guys open.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he can read the defenses on the romper room. No. What's the name?
What's Josh Reynolds
lower level?
If you want to trade partner for Garrett Wilson, you give Joe Shane a call.
Man, I'll trade a 6th-round pick for James Williams or whatever his name is. Wilson, whatever his name is.
I don't think they'll
James
do
Winston.
that.
Winston. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying. Well, anyway, whatever. I'll trade quite a nice 6th-round pick for him.
All right. Next up, we got the Rams at the Baltimore Ravens. The Rams right now are 7.5-point favorites heading into Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens are still going to also be without Lamar Jackson for another week. Likely he'll be back next week. In 2 weeks after their bye. They have a bye in week 7, so his likely return. Everybody's saying is week 8. So it'll be the Cooper Rush show once again for these Ravens. Matt Stafford and the Rams lost last week in that game against San Francisco, and they've a little bit more rested because that was a Thursday night game. So they're coming off of a 10-day rest, and they're walking into the Baltimore Ravens team that is the most injured team in the NFL. I heard somewhere that statistically they've lost, I think, 11 starters, and they've lost a total of 19 combined games between those 11 starters to injury, and we're only in week 6. It's pretty crazy. So 7.5 points is the spread. The Rams are the road favorite, and the over/under on this game is 44.5. Ace, your team is down bad, so let's see what you're thinking.
Yeah, it's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. It is not going well. Nobody really has faith in Cooper Rush. It looked terrible last week. I can't even pretend like that 1:00 slate was terrible because they were on it. I hope they don't have too many more primetime games. Lamar still hasn't practiced yesterday, Tuesday, today, or I don't believe he practiced today either. So I will see.
No, he hasn't practiced yet.
Yeah, so it's looking like more of the same from my guy, Coop. So I can't even bet on the Derrick Henry train because that offensive line is not it's not healthy. But 14 points is a lot.
No, it's 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Am I tripping? What did you post the lines?
Yeah, it's 7.5.
Why am I
Rams by
not looking at
7.5.
this? Rams by 7.5. I got to see where they're playing. Oh, they're playing in Baltimore, West Coast to East Coast. You know what? I'm gonna take the Ravens. They've covered a couple. Actually, they've only covered one game so far only covered one game so far the entire season.
Yeah, Cleveland,
which is pretty piss poor, and that was with Lamar. But without Lamar, that team is really bad. It shows how important QB is, and everyone else is hurt. Everybody who they're paying is hurt.
Oh.
So they did just pick one at the cornerback. Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens, and I'm going to take the 7.5 at home. They're going to have some pride in the defense. Everybody's been talking bad about them all week, so they're going to get it together. Unless this coach has really lost the team and they just don't give a damn no more. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
The Ravens, just to note, the Ravens were 2.5-point underdogs last week at home against the Texans and lost 44-10. Ant, over to you.
Yeah, I'm going to make this quick. The Ravens doesn't have a Timu Lamar Jackson sitting on the bench like they usually do for a backup, so I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm going to take the over. But not locking it in, though.
Speaking of which, should they go out and get Snoop Huntley, or am I tripping?
They should get any type of running type of quarterback that can match their system.
Huntley's available.
I would say this: if Lamar, if the stories are true and Lamar is in fact going to be coming back for week 8, what it makes, unless you feel like there's a possibility that he could re-injure himself and be out, after he returns, there's no reason in signing another quarterback for 1 week. You get Cooper Rush, let him out there to play, and then Lamar comes back, and then you figure out where you got to go from as a team. So
that's a hamstring.
Yeah. LaVon.
I'm mad at the Rams. I thought Harbaugh would show his chops last week and at least make it a game at home against the freaking Texans, but they got run. They got freaking boat raced. So there's no way I am taking the Ravens against Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Sean McVay. No way. Give me the Rams. And I didn't check. I didn't do too deep research on this week. But is Humphrey and Hamilton still out?
Looks like Humphrey is still out. Hamilton, yes. Hamilton got hurt last week, so he's going to be out.
Yeah,
give me the Rams, bro. Give me the Rams.
I'm sorry. Hamilton practiced in full today.
Okay.
So
Humphrey's out. Hamilton will be back after being injured, but I'm still taking the Rams. Road dog, right? No, I mean road favorite. Road favorite.
Yeah, road favorite.
And give me the Rams and over.
Yeah, a lot of the Ravens are still questionable. So I mean, maybe there's a possibility that they could get some of these guys back. Talking about Roquan Smith, Awuzie, the cornerback Awuzie. Humphrey is questionable with the calf. It looks like Ricard, the fullback, is questionable as well with the calf. So, I mean, these are all muscle injuries. So maybe it's possible that with some treatment that they'll be able to come back and be healthier. But the Rams scare me. This number scares me just because the Rams have not played, a complete game of football in a long time. They lost that game against Philly. They lost last week against San Francisco. Both games that either one, they had a big lead, or two, they were just favored high. And I just feel like the Rams haven't played to their level at any point yet this season. And so I don't like the number here. I'll take the Ravens at the number. I'm not locking this in. By no means am I comfortable with this, because I do believe that the Ravens, to my point last week, to my point earlier, that the Ravens could absolutely get smoked, and it wouldn't be surprising at all. But if they get some of those defenders back, maybe they can keep it close. And if nothing else, I mean, Derrick Henry should just feast on that Rams front. Just run the damn football and then play short. Cooper Rush ain't this damn bad, is he? But I'll take the Ravens and I'll take the over. All right, next game. Cowboys at the Panthers. The Dallas Cowboys are road favorites. This is another road favorite game where the Cowboys are favored by 3.5, and the over-under in this game is 49.5. So the Panthers are undefeated at home. The Panthers are 2-0 at home with wins against the Falcons, and then last week's win in surprising fashion against the Dolphins. The Cowboys, meanwhile, have won. They won their last game against the Jets in MetLife, and they tied right before that against Green Bay. Another high-scoring game for the Cowboys, who got over 30 points, and the Panthers, still haven't cracked that number yet. So the over/under again is 3.5. I'm sorry, the spread is 3.5, and the over/under is 49.5. Cowboys are the favorites. Levon, who you got?
So I like the Panthers. I've picked them multiple times this year, but I can't pick them here. Unlike the Dolphins, the Cowboys are not inept, and not at least not on the offensive side. And they'll manage to put points up against that defense. They put points up against everybody they played this year. And I don't think Bryce can keep pace with Dak. So give me the Cowboys, and I'm locking that in.
All right, Ace, over to you.
All right. It's not enough points for me to want to take the Panthers. I know that they're at home. 3.5 is a pretty good number. That over is definitely going to hit. Dallas has been giving up a lot of rushing yards per game. Rico Dowdell literally just ran for 200 yards last week against the Miami Dolphins, who have some of the, pretty terrible defense. With run support like that and a good offensive line, I would say, for Carolina, they have a chance to win this game and cover. If they had to win by, if this spread was even 6, I'd probably be hammering Carolina. But because, with all that said, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I think they'll have enough on offense to make it a problem for Carolina to play from behind. And Carolina's kicker is better than he was previously, but the Cowboys have Brandon Aubrey, who can hit a 60-yard field goal whenever they need one. So they're going to score pretty much on every single drive. And that's what I'm counting on. Their offense is going to be their defense. And it's going to, hopefully they can sustain long drives, because it looks like they're actually able to run the ball pretty well at a pretty good pace. And as crazy as it sounds, Dak Prescott is currently the best quarterback in the NFC in terms of QBR, for whatever that's worth. So I'm taking the Cowboys.
Oh, Levon, you're gonna like this. Make sure you pay attention to this next play. You're gonna like it.
Fuck.
I'm gonna take. I know. I just love it. I just love this kid. I love this kid so much. Anyhow, I'm gonna take the Cowboys as well. I will take the over, and I'm locking this in too. I like what I'm seeing from the Cowboys so far, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they don't have anybody that you write home about, and just the whole unit itself just appears to be inept. And Rico Dowdle definitely, if we talked about Stephon Diggs and his revenge game last week, Rico Dowdle absolutely he likely wants to get some revenge against the Cowboys, and he can do it because the Cowboys are weak against the run. So I do think that this game plays a little bit closer than we may think, but at 3.5 points, which it's actually moved down to 3 points. But at 3.5 points, I still think the Cowboys should be able to pull this game out and win. I would prefer the hook on this, especially if you're thinking about taking the Panthers, because I could absolutely see a Brandon Aubrey field goal winning this game late. And so I'll take the Cowboys to win the game outright and cover the 3. But I'm not, and I'm going to lock this in. I just feel like the Cowboys are on a bit of a roll right now, and this is a spot where they can get a quick, easy dub before the rest of their schedule shapes out. All right, next up, the Cardinals facing the Indianapolis Colts. The Cardinals are in Indianapolis to face the Colts, and the Colts here are the first home. The Colts are the first home favorite that we're talking about here. The Colts are favored by 6.5 points. The over-under is 47.5. The Cardinals lost last week at home against the Titans in a absolutely crazy game where the Titans were able to come back after being down a bunch of points. The Cardinals, Amari DeMercado fumbled the football, which probably really was a touchdown, but maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But he fumbled the ball at the goal line. It was called back. He got punched in his chest. A lot of crazy shit happened. But anyway, they lost the game anyway. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Colts bounced back in a nice way against the Raiders, blowing them out at home as well, putting up a 40 burger against them. So this looks like another barn burner for them. The Colts are 6.5 point favorites going into this game. And I didn't get your pick for the Cowboys game, did I?
No, you didn't. I was wondering if you heard me or anything.
No, let me get your pick for the Cowboys game before I roll up, because I usually go last, so that's probably why that happened. Let me get your pick for the Cowboys game, and then I'll just jump right to you to go. Then you go twice. Give me the Cowboys pick, and then do the Colts pick.
Okay, as far as for the Cowboys pick, I'm definitely picking the Cowboys. I'm taking it over, even though the Panthers have a better record, or if the Cowboys actually won their other game or lost their other game, we would have saw something. But anyway, I'm going with the same thing with you, Cowboys in the over, and I'm also locking that in. And the Colts is going against?
Colts and the Cardinals. Colts are 6.5 point favorites.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. I'm going to take the under in this one. The reason I'm going with the Colts is because you don't know what's going to happen with Kyler Murray, and I think that the Colts are actually going to quite do their thing this week, and I'm quite being on the side of Captain. Oh, I was going to give him a new name, but anyway, I'm going to go with the Colts, and I'm locking this in as well as my third lock.
All right. I'm going to take the Colts too, and I too am locking this in. I think not enough. There's been a lot said about Daniel Jones and his comeuppance here. I don't think enough has been said about what Jonathan Taylor has done as the running back for this team, and what he's accomplished, so far. I believe he's leading the league in rushing. He had 3 touchdowns last week in that game against the Raiders, and he's providing the same level of consistency from that position that we saw, a couple of years ago, where Saquon Barkley provided for Daniel Jones to have a good season in his first year under Brian Daboll on the Giants. So I think there's a lot being said about Daniel Jones for MVP, and I think if that's the case, then there should be some consideration for Jonathan Taylor for Offensive Player of the Year. As it goes along with that, since we know running backs don't get MVPs for some reason. But I'll take the Colts. I'll take the under in this game, and I'll lock it in. I just don't like what I'm seeing from the Cardinals. They're too up and down. They're too unorthodox, and that situation with Jonathan Gannon is not going to get any better anytime soon. So, Ace, over to you.
Somebody going to fight that dude on his own team, and then they're going to fire him, and I'm going to be there and I'm going to laugh because I'm here for that. That was a punk move. You don't put your hands on somebody who can't fight back. And I don't think they're going to want to play for him. They're probably already checked out on him. I forgot where he came from. I got to be honest. Was he with Philadelphia?
He was with Philly. He was the defense. No, he was the offensive. No, sorry, he was the defensive coordinator in Philly.
That's why
when
he
they went
has
to the
this
Super
crazy
Bowl.
attitude, because he fits the personality of that other maniac, Sirianni, who works there. All right.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm locking in the Colts. The Colts are 4-1 against the spread. Let's ride this till the wheels fall off. Okay? So I'm taking them, and I'm going with the over. They've played 5 games. 2 have been over. 1 has been under. Usually teams have about an even split, so I'm going to take this one to be over. They're going to beat the brakes off of them. Okay? Jonathan Taylor might have 4 rushing touchdowns, depending on how many wide receivers get caught inside the 5-yard line. Adonai Mitchell, maybe they'll have 2 guys throw away a touchdown on each side, and the teams will, who knows? But that's the only way I think it'll hit the under. In fairness to Adonai Mitchell, he just fumbled. He was trying to reach the ball across, and he fumbled. The other guy, Mercado, laid it down early. So it is what it is. Also, he shouldn't even be playing right now. He's the 3rd-string running back. He's 3rd string for a reason. You don't make good decisions. So it is what it is. Give me the Colts, and we're going to take this.
Well, we know he's playing because obviously James Conner is out for
That's
the season.
why.
Yeah, Conner's out for the season.
And Benson is out till like week 12.
Yeah, and Benson is out as well. So, yeah.
He got to play.
It's a good way for you not to get called back once those guys are back.
How you going to put hands on him and then bench him? I'd fight you as you were telling me. You better text me that information. I'm going to find you.
LeVon, what are you thinking?
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm not picking against Indiana Jones. Not in this game. The Cardinals, that was comical last week. That was, I can't even think of the football movie to reference in regards to what happened in that game. I watched Kyler Murray get hit in the face with the snap. Then you saw the dude run across the goal line and drop the ball a la Chad Powers, which is pretty good, by the way. Watch the first 3 episodes. And then that craziness on the interception, turn fumble, turn touchdown. The Cardinals are terrible. They are terrible. Yeah, it's bad. And I'm not going against the Colts. The Colts are probably one of the feel-good stories, surprise stories of the year. Hard not to root for them. Hard not to root for Daniel. So, yeah, give me the Colts. Give me the Colts, and I'm locking that one in too.
All right. For a very, very rare 4-way lock here. We're all locking in the Colts this week, so lay some money on that. Seahawks at the Jaguars.
Yeah, I believe
Jaguars are the home favorite here, favored by 1.5 points, and the over-under in this game is 46.5. The Jaguars are playing their 2nd consecutive home game on a short week after winning against the Kansas City Chiefs last week in epic fashion. I would say epic to say the least. It was a great comeback by the Jags. It was back and forth all the way through, and then the Jags and then Trevor Lawrence did a whole bunch of Trevor Lawrence things, both good and bad, en route to a victory down there in Duval. It was cool to see. Meanwhile, the Seahawks on the other side played probably the most entertaining game of the NFL slate last week at home against Tampa Bay, losing in the end 38-35. Sam Darnold played really well, had 4 touchdowns, and unfortunately threw the interception at the end of the game that gave Baker Mayfield the time and the availability he needed to bring the team down the field and win on a last-minute field goal. So Jaguars are 1.5 point favorites here. Again, over under is 46.5. And I'm going to start with you again on this one. What are you thinking?
I'm going to do something rare that I don't do. I'm picking the Jacksonville. I think they actually quite is showing me to be a good team. I'm turning around on them. I'm turning around on their coach. I do like how Seattle Seahawks is playing with Sam Darnold and stuff like that. They're actually fitting perfectly nice. But I think this is going to be a Jacksonville game. They got the home field advantage on this one, and I think they can pull it out. So give me Jacksonville, but I'm going to take the under in this one. Not locking it in.
All right, Jacksonville in the under. Ace.
I'm taking the Saxonville Jaguars. That's what they're going to be calling them after this week. They're going to have Sam Darnold running for his life. That team is not making the playoffs. I picked them to finish last, and that's behind the Cardinals. And you know how I feel about the Cardinals. The Cardinals are the worst team in NFL history. They sucked in Chicago, they sucked in St. Louis, and they've sucked in Phoenix and Arizona. Whatever name they want to go by. They stink. Larry Fitzgerald was your bright spot. It's over. Wrap it up. Okay? I'm locking this in. Give me the Jaguars. Okay? Or Jaguars, depending on what side of the pond you're on. They're going to crush. My man fell down twice and still scored the winning touchdown on the Chiefs. And some miraculous. All the bad luck is going against them this year. And I think the Jaguars are just going to be that team. So we'll see. Lock in the wires.
Yeah, the Jaguars have been a good team. They've been a good team. They're 4-1 coming into this game, and they
who would have thought that?
Levon, over to you. Well, that's why I was whipping it to you, because you did call this.
Are you done patting yourself on the back, Levon?
I think.
Look. No, I'm not done. It's going to be a long season. I did like Jacksonville. I do like Jacksonville, but I do not like them this week. I do wonder, why does Anthony hate Jacksonville? Is it because of Lawrence? Is it because of Per Plus? What did he ever do to you? You always seem to just have something to say about Trevor Lawrence. But I think the Jags fall this week. I think after that big win, they're due for a letdown, and the Seahawks need to bounce back. So I'm willing to play that whole momentum game, and picking the Seahawks to beat Jacksonville. And did I lock that one in too? No, I didn't lock that one in. But yeah, I got Seahawks.
All right, as my dog goes crazy barking at nothing. I'll take the Jags too, not locking it in, but I do like what I'm seeing from them. And looking at the way we did the stats when we did our picks at the beginning of the season, I just want to reference for the AFC South, the Levon and Ace and Anthony all had the Texans winning the division. I actually had the Jags winning the division with the Texans coming in second. So Levon did have the Jags. You picked the Texans to win the division. You picked the Jaguars to come in second and make the playoffs. I have a screenshot of it. I'm showing it right to you. Go back and listen to the pod, brother. What? I am the only one of us that picked the Jags to win the division. Everybody else picked the Texans.
We got to go back to the tape.
The three of you did pick the Jags to come in second place. So, you guys are there. So, anyway.
So there's still time for me to be right about the Texans, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Right. Still plenty of time. But I'll take the Jags here as well. I like what I'm seeing against them.
We're going to do like a mid pick?
What's that? What'd you say, Ant?
Are we going to do like a mid pick? Are we going to do like a mid pick? Like, like in the middle of the season type of pick? Like to change up our picks or whatever?
We could do a mulligan. I think we can do a mulligan if we want.
What?
We can
what are we fine?
Yes, that's the word.
See if we can do a mid-season pick and we revisit the picks and see how well we were and then see if you want to change.
No takesies, backsies. Believe is what we say. If we're R5.
The only thing I'll say for the Seahawks is the Seahawks are they shown themselves to be they're a live team. They're a good defense, and Sam Darnold looks like he's the real deal, at least from the perspective of being able to put up numbers and to be able to, to do this on multiple teams. So he's not as washed as maybe we believed that he was initially.
Two teams wishing he was on their team.
I'll take the Jags to cover at home. No lock because Trevor Lawrence scares the bejesus out of me. All right. Next game. Chargers at the Dolphins. The Chargers have lost their last two games after winning their first three, if I'm not mistaken. They're 3-2 coming into this game. They lost last week at home against the Washington Commanders. And now they go to Miami to face a Dolphins team that looked really good for like a quarter and a half against the Panthers, and then realized they are the Dolphins, and just muck that whole situation up. So the Chargers are 4.5-point road favorites here going into this week, and the over/under is 43.5. Levon, we're gonna start with you. What are you picking?
I still can't get over the fact that I forgot I didn't pick the Jags. Anyway,
No one cares.
The Chargers in no way losing 3 games in a row. They're better than that. There's no way they're losing 3 games in a row. Not to the Dolphins. In my opinion, is one of the worst teams in football this year, even though they got all that talent. Give me the Chargers. Let me see if I locked that one in. I didn't lock that one in. Give me the Chargers in that game and the over.
All right. Ace, over to you.
Did LeVon say he was locking in the Chargers?
No, he said he's not.
Okay. I'm locking in the Dolphins at home to cover. The Chargers just lost to Marion Hampton. I don't know if he's done for the year, but he's done for this game.
He is on short-term IR for at least 4 weeks.
Perfect. They don't got Khalil Mack, so they're not going to have a good pass rush. So Tua's going to have time. Mack hasn't practiced yet. And, I don't know who is going to be their second wide receiver. It's really a shame that they lost number 10. I forgot his name. Tyreek Hill for a second.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, he has off-field stuff to deal with, and hopefully the surgery went well. He can come back and somebody will give him some bread, but because he's going to need it. But yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins. I think their defense doesn't want to get embarrassed, and Mike McDaniel knows he's coaching for his job. So we're there with it already. And this is the game that the Chargers are going to have to win if they're going to even try to think about making the playoffs. And I think the Dolphins are going to mess them up here. I genuinely do. I don't have a lot of faith, but I have some faith. So give me the Fins. Waddle goes off.
Did you say you were locking this in?
Yes, I am. My second lock of the week. 2.
Okay.
Dos.
Yeah. You've got 3 so far.
How do I have 3?
You locked in the
pick
Jags.
An extra one for some reason and forget
Colts,
it.
Jags.
I locked in the Jags. I locked in the Colts, and I locked in this.
That's 3.
All right. Ant, over to you.
Well, this game is going to be a great game matchup. You got Tua versus the team. Yeah, that's 3 A's. Anyway, you got Tua versus the quarterback that the Dolphins actually wanted to take in Justin Herbert. So I'm going to go with Chargers on this one. I'm not picking the Dolphins until they actually find themselves. They got a coach and they got a team that's very down right now. They don't believe in themselves. They don't have the X factor of I'm forgetting his name too, number 10. But anyway, I'm getting old. But I'm gonna take the Chargers on this one. I'm not locking it in, but definitely taking the Chargers, and I'm gonna take the over. This should be a shootout. Hey, Levon, did you pick? Oh, Levon picked. Oh yeah, everybody picked.
Yeah, Levon picked. Levon went first. I didn't go. I'm gonna take the Chargers here. I think the Chargers are the better team. I think Ace. I agree with most of what you said. I don't know how the Chargers are going to run the football in this game. The running backs that they're putting out there. If you go on your fantasy football and you'll find there's a couple of running backs available, but I don't know any. I don't know yet. I don't know either one of them.
Hassan Haskins used to be at Michigan. I think he got drafted in the 3rd round last year after winning the championship. But he didn't play last year, and they signed Najee Harris over him. So they must not have a lot of faith in him. So saying.
It looks like he's gonna be the starter going into this week, but
third string.
Yeah, so I think this game is just gonna be on Justin Herbert and that passing game to make things happen. And so far, when the faith and the trust has been put into Herbert to run things, it doesn't end very well. But they're not playing the Dolphins. I tell you, the Giants should be pissed off. If the New York Giants should be pissed off at anybody, should be pissed off at Darren Waller, because that dude is balling out. And it's bothering the hell out of me that he was so disinterested in playing football when he was in New York. He goes down to Miami, and now he's basically lighting up the damn scoreboard.
He needs to get his life together. You just need that. He got his woosah moments.
It's insane.
He wasn't terrible.
He was married to Kelsey Plum.
He caught a lot of passes. I think he led all tight ends when he was here.
Didn't he get hurt though?
He did, but he He caught passes while he was here. Well, briefly.
I wish
To that first
his
Then he
coming out game
retired.
wasn't against the Jets.
Then he retired, and then now he's he's lighting up things again down in Miami. So whatever, man. I think he would be doing. I think the Giants would be doing really well, with him. Much better with him. They could use a tight end with his ability right
Tell you
about
what,
now, especially with neighbors
if
out.
Six is actually really hurt, that's going to line up just about right with how things have been going.
All right, Browns at the Steelers. The Browns return from London. They did not take their London bye like a lot of teams do. They come back and they are in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, getting 5.5 points. This is Dylan Gabriel's second game after losing last week in a well-fought, well-played game against the Minnesota Vikings. They lost by 4 in that game. And now they come back and play against a rested Steelers team coming off of their London game, where they won against those same they won against those same Vikings in Ireland, I believe it was, where that game was being played. And so now they're back. They had their bye, and the team is fresh. They're old, but they're fresh, and they're ready to play. So they're 5.5 point favorites here. The over-under is the lowest of the week, 38.5. And I'm going to start.
Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara, again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
With you.
So the Senior Bowl got pushed back to next week, but with Joe Flacco. But so this week we got Dylan Gabriel versus Aaron the Great Rodgers. This might be the game that a whole lot of Shador fans will like because something might actually happen, and for some reason the fans in this the fans that might show up in Pittsburgh might be some Shador fans might want to try to push for him to come out of nowhere and do a relief. But we don't know what's going to happen because Kevin Stefanski still can't make up his mind if Shador Sanders is a quite number 2 quarterback or number 3 quarterback, or if he's going to bump up one of his other quarterbacks from the practice squad to slap him in there. But I think this is all done on purpose. People are saying that Stefanski hates Shador and stuff like that. I'm not going to buy into that. But let me get back to the game because, most of the times when you talk about the Browns, for some reason, Shador usually shows up. But I'm going to go with the Steelers on this one. I'm not locking it in. And I'm going to take the under this one. Since we still got a rookie playing for the Browns. We didn't see the spark last week. And I don't see we're going to get maybe a gradual increase in how they played this week, but we still got to see how things go with that one. But I'm going to take the Steelers on this one, and I'm going to take the under.
As Brian Daboll begs to get his quarterback back on the field.
Don't boo Russ. New York people are so. I mean, there's no need to boo that man like that, bro.
Like he's begging. I mean, just watching him watching him on the sideline. I don't know who he's talking to or what he's talking about, but it looks like he's like, dude, is Dart not ready? Because I can't right now with this guy.
I mean, that's I don't like that. He's making Russ look bad like that. I mean, there's no need for that. Go coach the game, Brian. Coach the fucking game. You know the cameras are on you.
Brian don't know how to coach the game.
Ace, over to you.
All right. The Pittsburgh Steelers on offense are averaging 80 rushing yards a game. 8-0. They can't run the ball. Cleveland averages a little bit better, 95. Their offenses are anemic. Take the under. You want to win some money? I'd take it down to 30 and take the under on that. This game will be 13-10. They will not score more than 26 points. If there's a touchdown per side, it'll be a miracle. Okay, this game may be in the single digits. I don't know if red zone shows 50-yard field goals, but that's all they're going to show from this game. Give me Cleveland. They're getting points, and it's more than a field goal, so I have to take them. It doesn't make any sense to take any other bet. There's no way the Steelers beat them by a touchdown. No way, unless the defense scores 2 of them. All Dylan Gabriel has to do is hold on to the ball. He's a small guy. It'll make it harder for them to tackle him. He can move a little bit, but I see why he was drafted in the 3rd round. The kid's got a rocket for it all. So if you can find some of these receivers, just run, 2 tight end sets the entire time, and they'll be all right. You can throw the fan in and Njoku, take them to score some yards on a prop bet. But that's about it. Give me the Browns. And it will still be the Senior Bowl. Because I don't know if you know this, but Dylan Gabriel started college in 2018. He graduated from college last year.
No, that don't count. Senior Bowls, I'm talking about those guys who's pushing 40.
Super duper senior. He graduated at, I think, 30 years old. That's his coach.
He's college senior. He's not NFL senior.
So Kevin Stefanski had the highest and the lowest. I was going to shout him out on our shout outs at the end of the game. Just he had the highest and the highest high and the lowest lows in me. The high, though, is just kind of get to your point, Ace, was when he compared Dylan Gabriel in a press conference. He compared him to Chris Farley's character from Tommy Boy. When he talked about how Chris Farley, I can't remember the kid's name, but the character he played, but when he talked about how he was in school until he was like 27 years old, he made the comparison. I thought it was hilarious and I loved it. But on the flip side of that, Kevin Stefanski showed his ass for you to have only 2 active quarterbacks on your team and to be reluctant to make Shador the backup, despite you don't actually have another active quarterback on your roster anymore.
That's why that was such BS.
That is the most egregious of
stupidity. He is by default the backup quarterback.
Exactly. It's not like you have another guy. You have 3 quarterbacks on your roster right now. You have Dylan Gabriel, you have Shador Sanders, and you have Deshaun Watson.
I think
one of those guys can't play. Like, one of those guys legitimately can't actually go out there and play. And the other guys, one's your starter, one can't play, and the other guy is Shador Sanders. So if he's not your backup, who the hell is? Makes no sense to me.
I think he's really trying to troll the press, though.
We lost Levon, so I'm going to get his pick later, but I've got the Browns and the under in this game as well. Ace, I agree with everything you said about both of these teams. I think they both play it relatively close, relatively low. And, in all honesty, I do think probably the best, most effective player outside of DK Metcalf. I do like what I've seen from Quinshon Judkins since he's been the starting running back. He's been really good, really impressive for this team. And, so, all right, let's move on.
Do you think it's going to be a 3-2 game?
He'll make his pick. What's that?
Do you think it might be a 3-2 game? I'm actually asking that question to Ace, but
I could see 13-10. Remember that Green Bay game went 13-10. I could absolutely see this going 13-10. Would not be surprised.
This game is 9-10. Don't be shocked.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
It was not a point scored until the 3rd quarter. Don't be surprised.
LaVon, you joined right in time before we jumped over to the next game. Steelers and Browns. Steelers by 5.5 points. Who you got?
I heard what Ace said. He is low key pulling for the Browns. The defense is very good, but Mike Tomlin's had 2 weeks to prepare, and they're at home. And there's a bunch of veterans on that side of the ball. And Dylan Gabriel is a rookie, and he looked like a rookie. That's why they lost that game to Minnesota. He has a hard time throwing certain routes because he is as tall as he is. And Pittsburgh should roll in this game with the rest, with those veterans on that defense, with Mike Tomlin. And Aaron Rodgers hasn't been making a ton of mistakes. He's not good when pressured, but I think Cleveland's defense on the road isn't quite as good as it is when they're at home. So I'm taking the Steelers in this game.
All right. All right, next game we have the 49ers at the Buccaneers. Both of these teams, if I'm not mistaken, are 4-1 going into this game. The 49ers won in very impressive fashion. Mac Jones and the 49ers went into LA and beat the Rams on Thursday Night Football. And the Buccaneers also won in very impressive fashion in Seattle against the Seahawks in that game that I talked about a little bit earlier. The Buccaneers are favored here by 3. The over-under is 47.5. Ace, we're going to kick this one off with you. What are you thinking here? Bucks hosting the 49ers.
Because they're hosting, I'm taking the Bucks. You still don't know if Brock Purdy's going to play. Ricky Parasol and the other wide receiver, DeJuan Jennings, have not practiced. So, I don't know. It's going to have to be the CMC show. The Buccaneers' DVOA is negative, but yet somehow they still keep the same, are somehow still competitive. I would take the over in this game seems more likely than the under, but I'm going to take the Buccaneers. But generally, I'm just going to stay away from this game because I have no idea what's going to happen. It is too large of a variance to try to predict.
Yeah, and because of that, Ace, I'm actually taking the 49ers. I want that 3. I want this game to get to the hook. I want this game to get to the 3.5 because then I'll feel really good about this because that's exactly how I think the Bucks win this game, by 3 points. And the last minute field goal that they've done pretty much the entire season. I'm with you. I think this is, clearly what we've seen from Mac Jones or just from Kyle Shanahan in general is that, with the quarterbacks that he has, he knows how to scheme up opportunities for them to make plays. As long as they don't make mistakes, he can score with that team. And Anthony's old head coach, Robert Saleh, has added some juice to that defense, despite, not having a bunch of their players on that side of the ball. So I think the 49ers can keep it close and make it respectable and might even be able to pull it out. But I would pick the Buccaneers to win by a point or two and not cover that number. And over to you.
Yeah, just like you were saying with Salah, with his defense, that's the reason that he got that job with the Jets in the first place. He actually dealt with a whole lot of injuries before with the 49ers and still kept that defense up to a quite elite level. But I'm going to go with quarterback. I'm going to definitely go with quarterback U, which is the 49ers versus Baker Mayfield, who's I'm not going to lock this in because this is a hard game to pick. The reason why I'm saying it's hard to pick because the Buccaneers are going to be out without Mike Evans and they might be without Chris Godwin, even though the rookie basically is taking over that spot for them. And Baker Mayfield is definitely playing on the MVP level. I think he is on that list. But I'm still going to go with the 49ers in this one, and I'm going to take I'm going to go with the over in this one.
All right, LaVon.
This is the hardest one to call. The Niners proved how they're a well-coached team, being shorthanded like they were and winning that game last week. But with that being said, the Bucs are one of the best teams in the NFC, and Baker, next to Dak, is probably playing the best quarterback in the NFC. So I'm taking the Bucs in this one.
All right. Next up, we have the Titans going to Vegas to take on the Raiders. This is a game nobody will be paying much attention to unless you root for the Titans or you root for the Raiders. Both these teams, the Titans, despite getting their first win of the season last week, are both these teams are 1-4. The Raiders have lost 4 straight, and the Titans have won their first game after losing 4 straight. So this game just screams, don't pay attention to it. But right now, the Raiders are 4-point favorites. This line started out around 5.5 and has now moved down to 4. Raiders -4. Over under is 41.5 on this one. Not much to say about this game, but LeVon, I'll kick it off with you.
Yeah, it isn't much to say about this game except the Titans got gifted their first dub of the year. I mean, a win is a win. The team itself is probably feeling pretty good regardless. But the Raiders need a win, and they're a better team than Tennessee. So I think this is pretty easy call. I'm taking the Raiders in this game, and I'm locking this one up.
All right, Ace.
Yeah. To Levon's point, the Raiders are home favorites. It's a dome, but their average points given up is 27.8 a game. The Titans give up 28.2 a game. So if those holds true, the Tennessee Titans should cover. Both of these teams both have one really good pass rusher, Jeffrey Simmons and Max Crosby. So expect a lot of sacks. As bad as the Titans have been, their rookie quarterback, Cameron Ward, has been making less mistakes. Geno Smith is leading the league in interceptions. I'm taking the Titans. Give me those 5.5 points.
Well, at 5.5, I like the Titans too. Right now, it's trending down to 4. So keep watching your books to see where it goes. So we'll pick it at 5.5, which is what it was at yesterday. But at 4, at 4 points, that might change your bet if you're betting closer to the actual day. Over to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go the opposite way of Ace. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I'm going to take the over in this one. The reason I'm going to pick the Raiders is because they have the more experience. Yes, right now, Geno Smith is not playing up to his new standards when he was playing good in Seattle. But I think they can actually quite overcome a rookie in Cam Ward and a coach that is not at Pete Carroll's level. So give me the Raiders. They're at home. I'm not going to lock this in. This is too much of a wishy-washy game because both teams are basically playing almost even. But I'm going to go with the more experience, even though right now Brock Barrows might be a little bit hurt with his knees. But I still think that the Raiders can pull this out. So give me the Raiders and give me the over.
Yeah, if the Raiders can't win this game, especially if Geno has another bad game against the Titans here, then they should be looking to go to Kenny Pickett. They traded for this man for a reason. Maybe they traded for him because they saw the potential fall of Geno Smith. Maybe they just thought that they could just get a better backup quarterback into the situation. But I can't imagine that Kenny Pickett would lead the league in interception at this point. Geno is relying a lot on his former glory, and it's hurting the team. Whether the Raiders are a good team or not, we don't know. We can pretty much say no because I think that the quarterback is, his play at this point is bringing them down. So I'm going to take the Raiders to cover at home, but I'm going to say this is probably the end of the Geno Smith era if they can't win this game and win it pretty convincingly, in my opinion. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals playing against the Green Bay Packers. Going to Green Bay to play against the Packers. This is the biggest line of the week. Right now, pre Joe Flacco trade, this line was at 14.5. Okay. Post Joe Flacco trade, the line is at 14. So it doesn't seem to matter. The lines don't seem to care too much about the fact that the Bengals are playing at the quarterback position. The Packers are coming off of their bye week from last week, and the Bengals are coming off of a pretty bad loss. A bad loss against the Detroit Lions that prompted the trade for Joe Flacco and the immediate benching of Jake Browning. Again, this line is 14 to 14.5, depending on what book you're looking at. The over-under is 44.5. Ace, I'm kicking off with you. Packers hosting the Bengals. What are you thinking?
Packers aren't that good. They couldn't put away the Cowboys. Micah Parsons appears to be getting worn down by the week. He's still getting back injections for the pain with the slip disc. And Green Bay has a lot of people injured, like a lot. Their kicker is hurt. Brandon McManus. It appears every offensive guard on the team and both of their tackles. And if they play, they're going to be playing hurt. They're all listed on the injury report as of yesterday. Jamar Chase got some rest today. We know Cincinnati's not good, but they still got a pretty good pass rush. So I think that's going to neutralize. I don't think they're going to lose by 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns and a field goal. I'm locking in Cincinnati to cover. 14 points is way too much. Green Bay's not that good. And he's already beaten them once, so maybe he can beat them twice in one season as a non-division quarterback, which would be tremendous. So give me Cincinnati. Go Bengals.
Ant, over to you.
I'm gonna go the opposite way on this one. I'm gonna pick the Packers on this one, and I'm locking this in on this one. And I'm gonna take them and take the points and everything else like that. I'm taking the Packers on this one because the thing is that if you look at the Bengals, it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. They have a horrible offensive line. There's a reason why their actual starter is not playing right now. The only reason that the Bengals actually had to take a new low and bringing in the old fossil is because their quarterback can't handle the blitzing and all these other things that can actually happen with their horrible offensive line. But I don't think Joe Flacco can. Maybe hopefully can last until next week when we watch the Senior Bowl. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Packers on this one and, of course, taking the points.
If there's one thing that the Packers should be gearing up to do, it's to beat the ever-loving shit out of Joe Flacco. Because any angst that they may have about that loss against Cleveland, they can take it right back out on the old man, knowing
Revenge.
that he'll just get up and he'll play again, and that'll be it. So I like the Packers here coming off of their bye. Not a lock because I don't like locking in these large spreads, but I like the Packers off of their bye to bounce back. I think if I can get this at 14 instead of 14.5, I would take it. But I like the over in this as well. I think the Packers are able to score pretty handily. I was impressed by the Bengals defense at times in that game against the Lions last week. They were fast. They rushed the passer well, and they did some good things from that perspective. They didn't get any sacks, but they definitely made it a little bit more difficult for Detroit's offense to make plays and to really sustain drives. The unfortunate thing was Jake Browning kept giving the ball back to the Lions, giving them short fields and allowing them to score easily from that perspective. But if they can bring that defense to the same level against Green Bay in Green Bay, then maybe they can keep it close and give Flacco the opportunity to make some plays. But we've always known Flacco to be one that will throw one to the other team as well. So I'm definitely going to roll with the Packers here. I think they'll win this game by 17 points or more. Levon, over to you.
So I agree with the Packers. And that's all I can give you right now. Give the Packers.
Levon is very excited. He's watching his Giants play in this game and look pretty good. That interception of Jalen Hurts there in the fourth quarter was very, very impressive. It was good to see.
I can say one thing about the what's the name, Joe Flacco though. Joe Flacco came in, off the plane and just hopped right into the playbook. He's ready to go for Sunday. Usually takes a long time for that.
Of course he is. Because
does that mean he's going to play 18 games because he won't get a bye week?
Hey,
did the Bengals have their bye? No, the Bengals haven't had their bye yet, so he'll get a bye week.
Okay.
Yeah. He old. He all right. I'm guessing.
This
I'm
is
guessing the
last
Giants
season
are
anyway.
winning.
They're up by 10.
They
I'm
are
guessing the
winning.
Giants are
They're
winning.
winning right now by 10, and there was just a DPI called in the end zone, so now the Giants will have the ball on the Philadelphia 1 yard line.
It's a terrible
Oh, is
call.
Russell Wilson back on
27
the
to
bench?
17. Russell Wilson is back on the bench. Jackson Dart was out.
Somebody
Jackson Dart is
paid.
back in.
I'm sorry.
After
I
what
thought
I would
paused.
say was
Somebody paid off
probably
the refs.
I thought I muted myself.
what I would say was probably the most watched blue tent I can
Right?
ever recall in the history of
was
watching pro
disrespectful
sport,
to
pro
Russ.
football. The camera kept scanning over to that blue tent and would
Like,
not
oh,
take
no.
their eyes off of it. Cam Scatterbo walked in there like it was kind of ridiculous. But
Yeah,
whatever.
that was bad.
He's back. The Giants are winning. I'm happy.
Did y'all
He's
see the
back. Giants
backup
are winning. I'm
quarterbacks?
happy. Sirianni looks like he's pissed, but he can't do anything about it. Did we get everybody's pick on that? I think we did. Yes. Patriots at the Saints. The Patriots are 3.5-point favorites on the road heading to New Orleans. Over under on this game is 45.5. The Patriots looked fantastic on the road last week playing against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday Night Football. And they controlled that game almost from the jump. Turned the Bills over a couple of times and made all the plays they needed to make in order to squeak out a 3-point victory against a really good Bills team. On the other side, the Saints got their first win of the game against these same Giants that we're watching, play well against the Eagles. But at home, the Saints were able to get up against the Giants and win that game by virtue of 5 consecutive turnovers on consecutive plays. Ridiculous. Never happened before in the history of the NFL. But that said, that week is over, and the Saints are now back to being underdogs in their own house, hosting the Patriots. So, Ant, I'm going to start with you here. Patriots at the Saints, giving 3.5 points, over under 45.5. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Patriots on this one. I'm taking the under. I'm gonna lock this in. I'm gonna take the Patriots. I'm gonna take the under in this one. It's kind of funny how since the Patriots won last week, all of a sudden all the old time Patriots are dusting off they jerseys and stuff like that, and coming out of nowhere talking about we're back and stuff like that. But anyway, let's see how long that lasts. But this is another good game for the Patriots, even though the Saints are at home. I think the Patriots are a more disciplined team, so they should actually win this. So I'm taking the Patriots. I'm taking the under.
Well, it'll at least last one more week, because the Patriots should beat beat the Saints, and they should be able to handle business there. Beating the Bills was definitely, if nothing else, it should be the thing that helps propel this team to the heights that everybody expected. Those 8 or 9 wins that we expected them to get. They were looking pretty bad for a spell there, but getting that win against the Bills should give them enough juice to go into New Orleans and get this win as well. So I'm picking the Patriots in the under, and I'm locking this in as my third lock of the week. LeVon, over to you.
Yeah, the Patriots shocked me. I got to do a deep dive on that team. At first glance, I said they were not devoid of talent, but there wasn't much help around May outside of the tight end position. That kid they drafted is pretty good. 66, the Campbell kid out of LSU. They said he was small. They said he has short arms. That doesn't seem to matter if you can play football, because the kid is pretty good. And Drake May is proven so far. It takes a little more than 2 seasons, but so far he looks like he's going to be a pretty good signal caller for them, which sucks because they had about 20 years of Tom Brady. The Saints should have never won last week, so give me the Patriots and lock that in for me.
All right, Ace, you're the New Englander here.
I'm not.
What are you thinking?
I just live here.
You live
I'm not
there.
from here. I just live here.
It's in your soul.
Patriots got New York is in my soul. Patriots got an emotional win last week. They went on the road, and they're going to have to go on the road and do it again. It's a lot of travel. Central time zone, 4:00 game. People overlook the Saints a lot, and I think this is what you call a classic trap game. So I'm going to take the Saints to cover and possibly surprise another team. The Patriots are 2-0 on the road against the spread, though. And Saints have been covering a lot of games. They've been keeping it close with teams that kind of shocked them. I think the only reason why this is this close even is because the Saints are at home. So get it at 3.5 before it goes down to 2.5. I'm going to take the Saints.
All right, Ace going against the grain, taking the Saints. All right, next up, Sunday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs hosting my Detroit Lions. The Chiefs coming off of that loss on Monday Night Football in Jacksonville. It's a short week heading back home. And the Lions are coming off of an impressive wire-to-wire victory against the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. The Lions have been everybody's favorite team to propel to that number one spot over the course of the week. If you've watched anybody's tiers or top fives or any of those things, you see the Lions listed there at the top 5. I'm personally saying pump the brakes on this. I think this is the best team that we will have faced so far this season in the Chiefs. We haven't beaten anybody yet, and the only good team that we've played thus far, just because we know what the Ravens are now look like. The only good team that we played thus far is the Packers. Have been the Packers so far. So I think that the crowning of the Lions as the number one team in the NFL is a little premature. I don't think there are any great teams in the NFL right now. And, any team can lose at any point in time. And I get the any given Sunday moniker, but I really believe that the one thing that the Lions do have is an identity. They have an identity that comes out of them from their coaching staff and all of the players on the team. They run the football, they stop the run, and they play hard-nosed defense. I don't like right now the Chiefs are favored by 2.5 here, and the over-under is 52.5. I like the fact that I'm getting points on this. So I'm going with the Lions and I'm locking us in because I just like the fact that I'm getting 2.5 points. I think they'll keep it. I think they'll keep it close. I think they can win this game outright. I would not be surprised if that happens. Of course, I'll be cheering my boys on. But I'm going to take the Lions. I'm going to take the over and I'm locking this in. Ace, over to you.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions and I'm locking it in. The Chiefs have no business being favored in this game. This is nostalgia. This is people thinking, the Chiefs are going to finally get a win because they're at home. They're playing the best team in the NFC, the most complete team in the NFC. Their offense is clicking and their defense is clicking. And it's not clicking for the Chiefs? Either of those things, because they just lost to the Jags. Okay? They lost to the goddamn Jags. So no, I'm not picking the Chiefs. They're not going to win this game by 3. They're not going to win this game by 1. They're not going to win this game. They're going to have them searching for answers. The defense is not good. I don't know what, that the DC is doing, or the players just can't execute the plan. But I will say they don't have Rashee Rice yet. So I think the Lions are safe. There's not going to be much that's going to surprise them. And the Lions offense looks better since they got rid of Ben Johnson, and they're super aggressive. And being super aggressive is going to help them against the Chiefs on the road. And they beat them before when the Chiefs were really good. So I think they'll be all right. So, yeah, I'm taking the Lions.
All right. Ant, over to you.
Ace just doesn't like Nick Wright. But anyway, I'm going to agree with both of y'all guys with this one. I'm taking the Lions. I'm taking the over. I think this is going to be a really high-scoring game, and I think this is going to go into overtime. So, get your sleep in just in case it actually does happen. I'm going to take the Lions on this one. The Chiefs are they're going to take a little bit more time to get back to the old Chiefs. They're still going to make the playoffs. There actually are some predictions out there. There's actually a prediction out there that doesn't have the Chiefs in the playoffs. But that's from NFL.com. But they didn't even say who the person was that did that, but they just said from NFL.com. I saw that earlier this week. But anyway, I'm going to take the Lions. I'm going to take the over. I'm locking this in. I think this is my 4th lock of the week. I'm going to lock this in and ready to go.
And this is your 5th lock.
Okay, so now I'm pulling the ace now. I think we need to move it up to 6 locks.
LeVon, I know you're excited at this very moment, but you want to give me your pick because I just saw what just happened in the Giants and Eagles game, and it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good for you boys. But go ahead and give me your pick. Lions getting 2.5 points against the Chiefs.
Holy smokes! Yeah.
Holy smokes, indeed. How the hell do you score so much damn goal points?
Get invested in this football game. I will not.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
You mean you don't think they're going to the Super Bowl?
It is an absolute shame that I have to do that or really believe that it can't go into it. Anyway, Malik is a lot like myself in that regard. He wants to sit here, act like the Lions aren't the best team in the NFC by a long shot. Well coached. They have an identity. You know, this dates back going 3 years now. I'd say they're the odd-on favorite in the NFC to come out of the NFC, and that's even before the Eagles lay the egg here in this Thursday night game. The Chiefs don't have any teeth. You know, they don't have any teeth. They haven't played dominant all year. They've shown that they can be beaten. They look old, where they used to look young and dangerous. Chris Jones is lollygagging on game-winning plays and not giving full effort. Travis Kelce, like I said, is looking old and like he's got 2 feet out the door planning his wedding. And Patrick Mahomes is left there to pull out magic and do everything pretty much by himself. But they're still a dangerous team, but this is not the Lions we grew up watching. The Lions don't take anyone lightly. Dan Campbell will not let them do that. No matter if it's at home or on the road, they're going to play everybody hard. They got caught off guard 1 week this week, and that was week 1 against Green Bay. Give me the Lions. And did I lock that in? I did. Give me the Lions, and I'm locking that in.
Have we seen Taylor Swift all week? I mean, all year?
No.
It's kind of
I
weird.
haven't seen her.
I haven't.
I don't remember. I don't recall seeing her.
Well, she has to figure out why people don't like her album, so she's got bigger problems.
Yeah, we haven't seen the refs get paid either for some strange reason.
Oh, Lord.
But yes, I agree with you, LeVon. My fandom is taking over when it comes to watching the team. I've watched every minute of every game of the Lions multiple times so far this season. And I'll just say that I've, again, not seen a complete game played by them yet, despite the fact that they won 4 games. Either one or one unit or another has been just a little bit off, and I haven't seen the best game of them. And I also feel like they haven't played against the best competition, which, again, hey, you play your schedule, right? So the quote-unquote easy, this was supposed to be one of the most difficult schedules of the season, but this is quote-unquote, the easy part is quote-unquote over now. Starting with this game against the Chiefs, they have games against some pretty good opponents moving forward. But yeah. So I'm still looking for the pinnacle signature game, which people thought was the Ravens game, but now that we see what the Ravens have become, it ain't that. All right.
Wow.
Bills at the Falcons. Monday Night Football. This is Monday night doubleheader. The Bills are at Atlanta to play against the Falcons. The over-under in this game is 49.5, and the Bills are giving 4.5 points. The Bills, as we discussed, are coming off of a loss against the Patriots at home, and they head out onto the road to play against a Falcons team that's coming off of their Week 5 bye. Again, 4.5 point favorites here for the Bills. I will go ahead and go first again on this one. I'm picking the Bills to cover this number and to win outright. I think that they, can go in Atlanta and get a dub, and I just haven't seen the Falcons punch up yet. And that's why I'm liking the Bills here. The Falcons seem to play everything close to the chest. They play when they play opponents that are not as good as them, they give great effort. And when they punch up, they're not usually ready for that challenge. So I'm going to take the Bills to cover the 4.5. I'll lay that, and I will go with the over. No lock here, but I do like the Bills. LeVon, over to you.
I don't agree with you. I think, the punch up thing. They haven't done it, but I think they will. The Falcons play well at home, and the Bills have been, at times, they played down to their opponent. They've done it now 2 weeks in a row. They escaped against the Saints, but they didn't against the Patriots. And I think they come to Atlanta, even after a loss, where you would think they would right the ship. The Falcons have a young defense, a young, fast defense that could be troublesome against Josh Allen. But I think their offense, if Penix, doesn't commit too many errors, Robinson, Pitts, it's athletic, it's fast, and on that track, I think they surprise some people, and I think they win that game. Give me the Falcons.
All right, Ace.
Give me the Falcons to cover. I think this game is going to go over, and I think the Bills are going to make mistakes on defense as they have been because their defense isn't very good. And I think the Falcons' offense will not make mistakes, and they've already got embarrassed this year to a team they thought they were much better than. And they're not going to overlook a really good team. Josh Allen's going to have to put this team on his back again to get it done. And the Bills are 2-3 against the spread. So if they drop another one against the spread but somehow win, it'll be what it is. Give me the Falcons to cover.
All right, Ant.
I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to take the Bills and I'm going to take the over in this one. The reason I'm going to go this way is because Josh Allen knows the defensive playbook more than the Falcons. The Falcons have their defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, who has the team, who's basically had the Timu solid playbook. So give me the Bills and give me the over. I think they will rectify for what happened last week. I know they're a little bit upset of losing that first game last week to the Patriots. They was the last team to be undefeated for this season. So they're gonna go right back on the train and keep on going. The pressure is off of them right now. So definitely give me the Bills. And if this was my sixth lock, I could lock it in. I would have locked it in.
Scatterbo is having his giant moment, although he probably just got a taunting penalty there, which sucks.
Yeah.
All right, last game of the slate. Monday Night Football doubleheader here. We got the Commanders hosting Ace's Chicago Bears. The Bears are coming off of their Week 5 bye, and the Commanders are coming off of a victory in L.A. against the Chargers, where they held the Chargers to 10 points and were able to score 27 of their own. Jaden Daniels is back, and he's playing well, as usual. And they might get Terry McLaurin back this week. We'll see if that happens. I believe he is practicing this week as well. So we'll see. I believe he's still listed as questionable. So we'll see what happens there with a quad situation. Ace, of course, we're going to start with you here. This is your team. These are your Bears. The over under here is 4.5. I'm sorry, the over-under here is 49.5, and the spread is 4.5. Commanders are the favorites at home against the Bears. This is the scene of this is returning to the scene of the crime for the Bears, who last season had an opportunity to win, stolen from them on a Hail Mary pass at the end of that game, where the Commanders were able to squeak it out. And from there, the season went kind of awry for the Bears from that point. And the Commanders went on to make it to the playoffs and get all the way to the NFC Championship game. So, Ace, we're going to start with you. Commanders, 4.5-point favorites over the Bears. What are you thinking?
I'm locking in the Bears. That's how I'm feeling. Kyler Gordon is practicing, limited participant. TJ Edwards, practice, full participant. And, Grady Jarrett has a bit of a knee injury. He did not practice. We're going to need him in the middle. And Gervon Dexter to stop the run. But, this is a team that had to beat us on a Hail Mary last year. And Caleb Williams actually has a coach that knows how to coach offense. And the defense seems to be handling their business. So if Tremaine Edwards is healthy, I think we'll be all right. If TJ Edwards can get back in there, I think we'll also be all right, because that's a big part of our defense is that linebacker that's going to help. Tariq Stevenson is the guy who people blame for making that play. I blame the coach that we fired, who did not hold anybody accountable, which is why they said, you know what? Get off the plane. Pack your bags. You're done. And then we beat them last week when he was the DC. So, I think they're right in the wrongs this year. Montez Sweat, this is the team that traded him. He's going to go back in there and he's going to earn his money again. And he's going to get some sacks on Jalen Daniels, who's still playing with the injured ankle. He's playing through the injury, but he's playing with an injury. So give me the Bears. They're going to win. They're going to cover. Upset pick of the week. Lock it in.
All right. And Ace cares not about rules because that's his sixth lock.
What was the other lock? Because I didn't lock in any of the other games.
You
locked in
the Colts,
5 games.
You locked in the Jaguars. You locked in the Dolphins. You locked in the Bengals. You locked in the Lions. And now
I didn't
you
lock in the
locked
Lions.
in the Bears.
I didn't lock in the Lions.
Yes, you did.
No, I took the Lions. I said the Lions are going to win.
I know.
There's no way that they lose. I never said lock.
I locked the Lions. You might be thinking of me.
We did say lock.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Ant, over to you.
Anyway, Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams want to prove that he's still going to want to prove that he is the number one quarterback, and that's why he was taken. Even though everybody else in the world is looking at Jaden Daniels as the real number one quarterback. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Commanders on this one. I'm actually giving them respect. They deserve the Commanders, not the commies, not the whatever else I used to do a couple of years ago. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Commanders on this one. I'm going to make this my 19th lock of the week like Ace does. I don't believe in the Bears at all. I think they still need time to develop into their offense and get the coach settled in. Commanders are getting themselves right from getting themselves back to being how they was last year. And in my opinion, this is the reason why this game is being pushed kind of late, because even the world knows that the Commanders is going to beat the Bears. So give me the Commanders, and like I said, this is my 19,000, 1,000,000, and 6,500 lock of the week.
The government has been shut down, and the Commanders will shut down the Bears. That's exactly what's going to happen here.
Yes!
Everybody in the government is going to be at this game watching the Commanders shut down the Bears. The Bears will lose this game. I'm locking in the Commanders. I said a year and a half ago that I believed that the Bears should have – I didn't want them to, but I believed that the Bears should have drafted Jaden Daniels with the number one pick because he's better than Caleb Williams and had a better season than Caleb Williams coming out of college. He had a better season than Caleb Williams that last season coming out of college. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is an absolute fact. Jaden Daniels was a better player coming out of college. They both were Heisman Trophy winners, but Jaden Daniels was the Heisman Trophy winner, the most recent one,
also
coming
in
out of college
for 5 years.
They were both. I don't care how long he was there. He was better than him coming out of school and would have been better on the Bears. But I'm glad you didn't trade. I'm glad you didn't draft him. And now he's out there balling out for the Washington Commanders, so I don't have to play him 2 times a week. But he's already beaten us, and he already beat my team in the playoffs or whatever. But I'm going to take the Commanders to go BTA, belt to ass again, and beat the Bears this time, and make it less of an interesting situation because we won't let it get down to the Hail Mary. They'll just beat the brakes off of them all the way through. So I'm going to take the Commanders, and I'm locking this in. I'm laying this 4.5 points perfectly fine. LeVon, over to you.
Absolute cinema.
Is Scary Terry back this week?
The disrespect.
He's practicing, but he's questionable. So he did practice. I think it was limited practice on Wednesday.
It said I don't see. Well, the site that I saw said did not participate in practice for him.
Okay, so he still listed as questionable. So we'll see.
That's key. The Bears are better.
Did.
The Bears are better this year. I will give credit where credit is due. Washington is old. And I'm still not sold on Jaden Daniels like Malik is and like everyone else is. I still have to see it consistently. I think last year they ramped him up gradually, and they won a lot of close games last year on luck. But I think Terry's gonna play, and if he plays, I like Washington, so give me the Commanders. And if I don't have 5 locks, let me lock that in. I thought I locked in 5, but I think I skipped one.
You do have 5.
Sure.
I have 5. So unless you want to switch.
No, I'm good. I figured I had 5. Okay. Give me the Commanders, no lock. Give me the Commanders.
Okay. All right. So 3 going for the Commanders, 1 going for the Bears. All right. And with that, we are done with this week. So fellas, I'm going to give you guys a chance. I will start out by saying the locks that we have. So Ace this week is locking the Colts, the Jaguars, the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Bears. Ant is locking in the Broncos, Cowboys, Colts, Packers, and Lions. I am locking in the Colts, the Cowboys, the Patriots, the Lions, and the Commanders. And Levon is locking in the Cowboys, Colts, Raiders, Patriots, and Lions. All right. Now we'll roll over to shout-outs as we get ready to roll. I'm going to, you know what, Levon, you're going to go first because I'm pretty sure you're getting ready to shout out your team, and I want you to have the opportunity to shout out your boys because there is a minute left in this game. They're up 17 points. It's a wrap. It's over. I think it's, and Philly has what, one timeout left? Yeah. Go ahead. Take your victory lap, please.
No, believe it or not, I had a shout out plan, but because of this, I forgot it. I had a really good shout out planned that I wanted to do, but I am so shocked by this outcome. I literally forgot it, and I'm entrenched in watching this young team celebrate and grow, and hopefully take this victory and realize that they are good at football, and maybe they can start competing more, which is really what we all hope for with our football teams. But I wish you would come back to me because I know earlier today I had a really good shout out and I forgot it and I can't remember it. So that sucks. Yeah, I'm flabbergasted. So that's all I got, man. I don't have anything.
Well, I was hoping. Well, you gave a little bit of love and credit to your Giants. Ed, over to you.
My shout out is going to be to Aaron Glenn. You got this team into a nice 0-5. This is the first time in Jets history that actually happened. You got this team to be the first 0-5 team to not get a turnover. You actually doing the same type of coach speak that Robert Saleh did. That I believe Todd Bowles did the same exact things, the instant coffee thing and all these other things like that. But you know what? The reason why I'm shouting you out is not because of the bad things. The reason I'm shouting out is because you still believe in this team. And I think that you can actually come back. Even though I did pick against you this week, I'm hoping that I'm wrong. And I'm hoping that, that everything gets turned around because you actually went to London earlier and you got away from this crazy media in New York. And hopefully everything is turned around. So shout outs to you on that one. Good luck for the rest of the season.
All right, Ace.
Off top, I want to shout out Bill Belichick for coasting, for being Mr. No Distractions for the past 20-something years and being nothing but a distraction to his team. To being a coach who really looks like he does not care a damn. He is so checked out. Reports came out that he was already looking into how to get out of this. He was willing to pay the $1 million to the school to allegedly leave. I think he's going to stick it out for the rest of the season. It appears they won't be favored against Stanford. And Stanford lost to two Mountain West teams this year. Stanford's not good. I don't think North Carolina is going to win another game. So my suggestion is to bet against them every single week.
He's deep in 20-year-olds.
He is, I don't know about all that, but I know he does not care. He's not coaching like he cares. Shout out to the Cubs. I hope y'all pull this off and force a game 4. First game 5 against the Milwaukee Brewers, who do not deserve to win. I'm not rooting for them. I'm rooting against them. I wish them nothing but the worst. Go Cubs. I'm jumping on the bandwagon of the Cubs because I'm tired of everybody talking all this trash about the Yankees and Big Papi with the Yankee Lou. That was funny. I'm not going to lie. I saw that in the post game, and that did make me laugh a little bit. And he got him good. But, man, that guy, he always makes me laugh on the broadcast, so shout out to him. That was a good one. He got us. Toronto had our number this year, but that's okay because they're the Blue Jays, and somehow they'll mess it up because it's what they do. There's a reason why they haven't won since the 20th century, and it took a miracle to do that then. Shout out to Taron Dickens, who completed 46 of 46 consecutive passes for Western Carolina and pulled out a 23-21 victory. And shout out to my UB Bulls for being undefeated in conference, 2-0. My Bears were off last week, so I was watching more college football. And shout out to the Florida Gators for taking down the Texas Longhorns. Arch ain't it. He's not the only problem, but he is a problem. That defense can't stop nobody. And the fact that y'all lost to Florida lets me know that the U is officially back because they won the state championship. They beat South Florida. They beat Florida. They beat Florida State. They might as well go ahead and play FIU to just get that dub. Let's see if they can do it. So I'm taking Miami to win the national championship right now. They are going to win. Okay, I don't usually do this, but I'm guaranteeing a victory. All right? Hear me now, believe me later. I'm done.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm with you on the Belichick thing. I wish
he
in my heart of hearts, I wish we could go back about maybe, I don't know how long it's been since the guy passed, but I wish we could go back to when Ronnie Dangerfield was still around and we could do Back to School 2. And we could just base it on this Belichick run. Because this whole thing has been comedy from
it's
day
free
one.
Money.
It's been comedy from day one. How you got there, everything with the girlfriend or fiance, whatever she is now.
Yeah.
All of the stuff about the players getting perks and all this, it's just hilarious.
How do you break rules when there's no rules left? You can pay everybody, and you're still breaking rules somehow.
This is the first time I've ever heard of any, like, the parents getting involved. Like, I've never heard parents actually complain. Like, there's a report about parents complaining about the football. It's hilarious. It's hilarious, man. But yeah, shout out to him for bringing the story to the college scene. It's been hilarious. The NBA is back. Shout out to LeBron James. Now, not because he's injured, because he is injured now, and he's going to miss the first 3 to 4 weeks. He's going to miss the Lakers opener with sciatica in his back.
He's always injured.
I thought that was like an old guy injury. I wasn't entirely sure, but no, you can get sciatica even when you're young. Whatever.
He ain't young.
But no, he's not young. But I thought like sciatica. I've never heard of sciatica being something attributed to young people. So I always assumed that was an old people injury. But it's not. It's you can get it at any point. Anyway, but shout out to LeBron for the decision, the second decision thing that he did, which was absolutely hilarious.
I just wanted him to yell anything.
It was a good troll. It was a great troll.
It was absolutely. Not only was it hilarious because obviously if you guys don't know, you're listening now, you didn't hear. LeBron James tweeted out, the second decision. I believe that's what he called it, like the second decision or the second most important decision or whatever, which everybody believed meant that he was going to retire from the NBA, which he may still do, but it wasn't about that. He was actually doing a read and an ad for the new Hennessy that he's coming out with, which I think is out, a new form of cognac, which I will be buying just to give it a taste and see what they're rolling with. But this led to a spike in Lakers ticket sales because everybody wants to see LeBron in his last game. And when he came out and said, no, he wasn't, that wasn't what it was, he wasn't retiring, people are now suing suing LeBron James. There's a man who's trying to sue LeBron James because he paid for his Lakers tickets thinking that the man was going to retire, and now he's not. So shout out to you, LeBron James. You gassed everybody. And you got dudes suing you now because they can't get back the money they spent on season tickets because the Lakers won't refund it. That's hilarious. Okay, so shout out to you for that one, man. Shout out to Cam Scatterbo. I was a big fan of him coming out of school. I actually was kind of hoping that the Lions, got him in there or whatever as a kind of another scat back type of situation, but I'm really happy he went to the Giants because he has an opportunity to play and he's actually balling out. The backflips are impressive as all hell for a guy as big as he is and as small as he is. I just worry about your knees. Please don't do that. I cringe every time I see you do it, but I'm happy that you're still able to do it at such a young age. Keep doing your thing. Keep balling, kid. You're doing great. And last but not least, shout out to the baseball playoffs. Look, the Yankees are out, and I hate that for my team, but I love playoff baseball. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy watching it, and I have enjoyed watching the games up until this point, especially the ones that don't involve my Yankees because I get frustrated watching them in the playoffs. And shout out to hockey.
Somebody stop the Dodgers.
Shout out to hockey. And of course, I'm sorry. last month. Shout out to Asia Wilson. They are about to sweep the Phoenix Mercury, and she is balling out of freaking control. She lit it up last night again, had a great game. I think it was 34 and 14 or something like that.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Killing
3
right
blocks.
now. And someone mentioned somewhere that if she wins another title, which is likely, in all likelihood she is, along with her third or fourth MVP, we're not just talking about, greatest of an era. We might be talking about greatest of all time. We might be talking about greatest of all time as it pertains to the WNBA from a woman's perspective. We might start talking about that. I get it. Cheryl Miller never got to play in the WNBA, and it's only got a 30-year history. But a lot of people say Cheryl Miller is the greatest women's basketball player of all time. I never got to see her play. But what Asia Wilson is doing right now cannot be denied, cannot be taken for granted. She is killing. So shout out to her, and shout out to the Aces. We'll get you next year. Liberty will get you guys next year and knock y'all out next year, just like we did last year. But other than that, ready to roll out. Till next time, till next week. Make your bets. Good luck, everybody. We'll talk to you then. Peace.
Peace out, like the Jets. Out.
Peace.
0-17.